welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Today, the movie I'm reviewing is Spider-Man Far From Home. Woohoo! This movie is rated PG-13. It's 2 hours and 9 minutes. And the Movie Review Mom I graded is an A. This is a great, fun summer blockbuster popcorn movie. FOS Unite. FOS stands for Friends of Spider-Man. Welcome to the post-Avengers Endgame world. So after the very dramatic last two Avengers movies, this Spider-Man movie saves the day by giving us an easy breezy, light and fun summer blockbuster movie. I just came back from a press release and it was packed. The theater was crazy. Fans were so excited to watch this movie, including me, and none of us were disappointed. In fact, all of us left just energized and laughing. It's a really fun family flick that all ages will enjoy. But now I'm jumping ahead of myself. This Spider-Man Far From Home is the final movie in the phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, as the sequel to the 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming movie. This new addition to the superhero franchise has very youthful energy that I just love. This movie was directed by John Watts and written by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers. Tom Holland recently said that this new Spider-Man movie is a token of our love to Robert Downey Jr. and his Iron Man character. Aw, there's this very cute and funny in memoriam at the very beginning of the movie. And the whole movie really did feel like a tribute and a loving memory of some of these favorite characters and a continuation of the MCU. It was really, really fun. And my big final words are stay sticky. No, they're not my final words. Let me give you some tips for parents. First of all, there is some profanity, always by Samuel L. Jackson, of course. There's kind of a crude reference to the Peter Tingle that will hopefully fly over the heads of young viewers, although it's repeated quite a few times. Someone hits a boy in the crotch and runs away. Kind of random. A boy starts to undress in front of a girl twice. A boy flips the bird, the middle finger, to another boy. A teenage boy gets invited to a bar, but he just drinks lemonade, which is impressive. And there's talk of a teenage boy watching an adult film. So there's that. But otherwise, it's a very family-friendly movie. And of course, there's lots of destruction and people in peril and violence. It's a superhero movie. So if your kids have seen superhero movies and you have and you're fine with them, then there's just more of the same of that kind of thing here. Now, some themes that I think are interesting and definitely worth conversations with your kids and your family are, first of all, illusion versus reality. And it's done really, really well. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Another theme is growing up and taking responsibility. And Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson, says to Peter Parker, "The choice is yours." Now, remember, when Peter Parker first becomes Spider-Man, he has to decide if he's ready to take on that responsibility, right? He's a kid. He's a high school kid. Now that Iron Man has gone, I don't know if I should say that. Hopefully you have seen the Endgame, the Avengers Endgame. But anyway, Iron Man's gone, and so now Peter Parker is being asked to step up to the plate. And so there's a new level of responsibility that he has to decide if he's ready for, if he wants to do that, if he just wants to be kind of a carefree high school kid on a science field trip to Europe. Nice field trip, right? All the way to Europe. So anyway, there's that element. And so that's a really good conversation to have with your kids as well. All right. The list of things that I like is quite large. First of all, I really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I love his enthusiastic, naive youthfulness and energy. He's super awkward, which is really fun and entertaining. And I just think he does a really good job. And it's nice to have a young superhero among the mix of all the older, adult superheroes. Jake Gyllenhaal is awesome. I love him in everything that he does, and he does a great job with this character as well. Check out his recent film called Wildlife. He stars in it, and I believe he produced it and he might have directed it. I forget now. You can look at my movie review for that one as well. The talented cast includes Zendaya, Jon Favreau, Samuel L. Jackson, as I mentioned, Colby Smulders, Marissa Tomei. Some of those are from former movies, which is great. And we've got some other fan favorites, but also some new characters that kind of adds some fun touches as well. Um, the Marvel universe, I think the MCU has quickly learned that audiences want wonder. They want action, of course, a flawed hero, and lots of humor. And this movie has all of those things. They have created a very successful formula. I actually dragged my 19-year-old son along. I'm the Marvel fan in the family, which seems so funny. But, he was like, yeah, it was fun. He had a good time. But he's like, it's kind of formulaic. And I agree. There's that formula. The last two Avengers movies had a lot of drama going on, and they were a little bit different. They did follow the formula to a large extent, but now we're kind of back into the kind of the routine of the regular superhero movie type. Anyway, so there's a little bit of that as well. There are a lot of Easter eggs, which fans love. If you can catch them, you have to look really carefully. For example, Peter's suitcase has the letters BFP written on it, referring to his uncle Benjamin Franklin Parker. So check out information on passports that you get quick glimpses of, license plates, various items. And then there's just a lot of really fun references to former movies, not just Spider-Man movies, but other movies and other superhero characters. For example, there's this one really cute scene, or a cute reference, I should say, to Captain America and his shield. And it just made me laugh out loud because I love the Cap. But anyway, just lots of respectful nods to all of the things that the MCU has done before. This is, I think, their 24th film now. So they deserve some respectful nods for sure. The song choices were perfect and hilarious. And there's a really fun cameo towards the very end of the movie. And I'm not going to ruin it for you, but the audience just cheered the minute that his face showed up on the screen. And I thought it was really cute and well done, well placed. If you love, or if you really liked the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, and who didn't, it won an Academy Award for Best Animation last year. There are some scenes that, to me, had a familiar feel to it, a kind of a comic multiverse feel, which I thought was great, obviously, in that movie. And in this movie, it worked really well, too. And I liked that element of it. So look for that. Well, you're not going to miss it. I absolutely love how the MCU is able to successfully tie all of the movies together just with little threads, running gags, and the audience that I sat with just caught every one of them, which made it really fun. If you're going to see this movie, try to see it in the theater, especially at nighttime when it's going to be crowded, full of fans, because it's really fun to, hear the audience cheer or laugh or clap at the moments that they love, and it just makes it for a really fun time at the movies. If you love to travel, you get to see Mexico, Venice, the Austrian mountains, Prague, London, the Netherlands, and Queens. Social justice warriors will love the very diverse cast. And I just laugh because I know that this next Halloween, we are going to see people dressed up as the Night Monkey. It's hilarious and kind of awesome, and you'll like that too. If you're a true Marvel fan, then you already know that you have to stay in your seat in the movie theater until the very final end of the rolling credits, right? So the credits start at the end of the movie, and then there's a little scene. It's cute. And then you got to sit through all of the rest of the rolling credits. And then there's one more scene that just made the audience laugh and cheer, at least the audience that I sat with. So it was pretty cute. Now, there are only a few things that I didn't like. And first of all, this isn't really something I didn't like about the movie, but just kind of a heads up. You really need to have seen Spider-Man Homecoming and the two last Avengers movies, especially the Avengers Endgame, to really understand the depth of what's happening with some of the characters. There's talk of the blip and 5 years later and what happened, that if you haven't seen those movies, you'll be going, what? So you really need to watch those first. Some of the action sequences look like they were designed to be in video games. And I know some of the prior Spider-Man movies had that as well. Which is fine, but it's just, you can notice when that happens. And then some of the CGI also looked kind of fake, like there's some moments or scenes on a Ferris wheel, and then there's some fire, and it just looked super fake. But otherwise, the CGI was really good. The action sequences were fun. And maybe another flaw might be, when you watch a movie, any of these movies, there's usually like some big action sequence that you're like, oh, I'm never going to forget that. That's going to be a classic moment. And I don't know that this movie had anything quite new. There's villain stuff, there's action, there's CGI, and it's good, but nothing that just like blew me away. Like, I've never seen that before. But there were some great moments. So I'm not being super critical because I gave the movie an A. There's another tiny little thing. Audience might miss the significance of the Black Dahlia, like the murder. It's a thing. It's a moment. Actually, it's more than one moment that is important to a couple of the characters. Anyway, I want to finish this so that you're not sitting here for 30 minutes listening to my review. I want you to go see the movie. In the meanwhile, go visit moviereviewmom.com, where I've got written a lot more stuff. I can't even speak correct English when I get excited. I've written more information about the movie review, including a bunch of really funny lines that will be quotable afterwards. People will be saying them around the water cooler, or I don't know, as well as some really interesting lines that I think might also spark some conversation with your family. Anyway, I think you're going to have a great time. You'll get out of the heat, go into the air-conditioned movie theater, grab some popcorn, and you're going to have a really great time. So that's my review. Go hit the theaters and go watch Spider-Man Far From Home. Bye for now.